what's up? It's J Lucky Henry. Today we're going to talk about seven different ways to purchase property and what are the pros and cons to each of these ways. All right, let's start with the most common. In the Americas, well, at least the United States. I don't know about way up there and down there, but in the United States, right, most people finance, right? And most of the time it's public financing through a loan originator, through a bank, getting their finances. So what are the pros and cons? Let's start with the good stuff, right? The pros is it's OPM, other people's money, right? You don't gotta come up with 500 grand just to get the house you wanna move into. You can be as low as 3% down, 5% down, 20% down. Heck, 20 is still better than 100% down, right? Of course. So OPM, other people's money. What's the cons to this? You're gonna end up paying higher, right? That's probably the biggest con to it. You're gonna end up paying higher depending on your credit. Now, if you have great credit and you can get it for a little bit less, it's definitely worth using other people's money, not putting up all your money and paying a little bit extra for that spread out over time. However, if you don't have that upper echelon of credit range, yeah, you're definitely gonna be paying higher. Another con to it is you do always run the risk of getting rejected, right? They could always say no if that credit isn't stellar. But the big one is that paying higher. What's another way you could do this, right? Let me go ahead and put these in brackets for you so you don't get confused with it, right? Another way that you could purchase property is cash. And we talk about that, right? Cash is royalty, right? 2018, come on now, it's gender neutral. Cash is royalty. It used to be king, it's royalty now. So cash is royalty. What's one of the good things about buying cash, right? Well, it's not other people's money, it's your money, right? If it's cash. So one of the good things is you're not going to be paying for using it. So a lot of things you buy are actually cheaper. And when you have cash, you can use that as a strong negotiating because you know you're not getting turned down. You already got the money, right? There's no appraisals, there's no inspections necessarily. They can be if the cash buyer wants to, but there's definitely no need for appraisals that someone else is going to say, I'm not putting my money at risk with that asset. So cash, you can negotiate stronger and you're not paying for borrowing somebody's money, so it's cheaper. What are the cons to doing cash? Well, it's your money, right? Is that really a con? I mean, no, because it's your asset, so you're trading something equally. What the con is actually the opportunity cost. Pardon my shorthand. If you can't keep up with it, I'll put closed captions or something, all right? But it's the opportunity cost, because by not having that money in hand, what could you have spent that 500K on that could have generated income for you? Or maybe taking the family on for a vacation, or maybe whatever it is you wanted to spend that 500K on, you can't because you use it to buy the property. You can't take the house and buy a vacation. You can't take the house and buy new clothes. So it's the opportunity cost that you spent it on that. But if you're happy with the house or the property that you purchased, then it's a good investment, right? Cool. I'm not even gonna give you the horizontal lines. You're just gonna have to follow along with me, all right? So beyond cash, we could talk about auctions. Now, typically at auctions, you might be buying cash. Now, after these two, everything's gonna be either a cash or a finance for the remainder of the ways. So for auctions, typically we're gonna be buying cash, right? You know what auctions are like. 400, 450, 480, 480 sold. You're buying houses most of the time under market value at auctions, but you need the cash to come up with it. So what are the pros and cons? I literally just told you. The pro, number one, is you can get them below market value, right? At auctions. Definitely can pick them up below. What's the con? Definitely need cash, right? Need cash, right? And that means the opportunity cost again of what else you could be buying. So what's another way you could buy properties? We're on 3 already, so this video is almost already gone, right? Another way you could do it is when we're talking about short sales. Now, short sales, if you don't know what they are, check the link right here, right? But when you're dealing with a short sale, I'm not going to go into the whole definition because there's a whole video you can watch there. Literally pause this video, watch that video, come back to this video if you need to, all right? So what are the pros of short sales is you definitely can get properties for below market value. Another great way to find below market value deals. The con to short sales is that beyond the fact that they're not always guaranteed to be below market value, the con is short sales can take an exhausting amount of time. So if you don't have the patience to wait for a short sale, perhaps you're literally looking for the home of your dreams for the first time, and you don't want to go through the extra paperwork, short sales can be exhausting. They can take a long time. But they can also, like anything in life, there are exceptions. It can go phenomenally great, be a super quick transaction. But the majority of short sales take time. And paperwork. Lots of paperwork. Right? The distant cousin to short sales, foreclosures. I couldn't fit the S in there, but foreclosures, you get it, right? Foreclosures. Now, I just told you the distant cousins to short sales. So what do you think the pro to it is going to be, right? The pro to foreclosures is you can pick these up. It's even more likely, right? I'm going to venture to say that it's even more likely you're going to get a below market value property on a foreclosure than a short sale. Because in a foreclosure, well, I could explain it to you, but I got a video that does, so it's right here. You click that video and watch it. Again, pause and come back if you need to. But in a foreclosure, you definitely have a huge opportunity to get a below market value property. Now, the con to the foreclosure, they're distant cousins now, but foreclosure is like the grown-up version. So if this takes time, what do you think a foreclosure takes? Because for a foreclosure to happen, right, a lot of these online sites will tell you when a foreclosure is going to happen, or they perceive it to be happening on a property. So you might see it months before it even happens. Then when it actually happens, it's still months to go before you can actually get a chance to get it. So these take super time, right? It's like time, but on steroids, just like more of it. And the paperwork, ooh la la. Ooh. But again, great place to find below market value deals, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 2 more to go. Come on, keep up with me now. Wholesaling. That's the next one. Wholesaling. What I really like about wholesaling is not waiting for a short sale or a foreclosure or even an auction to pop up. Wholesaling is making it happen, right? Here I am about to give you the definition like I don't have a video for this. You go watch that video and come back, all right? But here are the pros and cons to it. The pros to wholesaling, you're definitely getting below market value. Now, you can notice a theme here. Cheaper, below market value, below market value, below market value, below market value, other people's money, right? Wholesaling is the one that actually has both. That's why I'm a huge fan of wholesaling. It actually can have both. And if you watch the video, you'll understand why. The cons though, right? If you say, wow, wholesaling's so good, I'm definitely gonna get into wholesaling. I'm all for it, right? I love people in the business, whether it's wholesaling, investing, being an agent, being a developer. I'm all about people being in real estate. Giving you the pros and cons. The cons to it, there are situations where you put yourself on the hook for purchasing a property, assuming you're going to get other people's money, and then other people's money falls through. And now you're on the hook for a property that you can't afford, right? Or people just back out of deals. People just back out of deals because your contracts might be a little too loose. So, a lot of lost deals and responsibility for properties that you can't buy. And it says it, trust me, that's what it says. Responsibility for properties that you can't buy because you couldn't afford it. It's right there, right? And the last one we're going to talk about. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The last one on this list, I actually forgot what it was. I was going to give you guys 7, right? And I totally forgot what it was. What was it? What? Speak up, I can't hear you. They know there's a camera person, so go ahead.
Estate.
Estate? No, not estate. I know what it was. It was, yes, other people's money, getting private investments. That's what it was. Not estate. We did estate in the other video. Private, right? So with private, it's other people's money, kind of like financing, except, so the difference here, that's your pro. Now, because I didn't put in a video explaining exactly what private lending is, I'll give you the definition here. It's literally like getting some family members, some friends, or some group of investors together to lend you money. Now, people do this because they might be able to negotiate better interest rates, less hoops to jump through, right? With the bank, they want appraisals, they want inspections, they want all of that. With other people's money, you can set the terms and negotiate. Like, hey, just give me the money. I'm going to go out and do this. You know I know real estate. You know I know how to make money in real estate. So you get the money and you do it. So it's not your money, right? You still have your money, opportunity cost, and opportunities that arise. And you can sometimes negotiate better terms, right? So other people's money, great terms. The cons to private money, you got to make a lot of sales now. You got to go sell somebody on giving you the money and then go sell somebody on letting you buy the property as well. It's just more moving parts, right? And if you don't have one person that can say, oh, here, it's 500 Karen, 500 grand, maybe you got to get 500 people to give you a grant. Maybe you got to get 50 people to give you 10 grand. I don't know what your network is like, but the con to it is a lot of moving parts. And then you got to do the splits and everybody's got to take a hand out of the pocket. It can be a lot, but if you can manage it, it's a great way to get these deals done. And of course, if you can negotiate, get some private money, use the private money to go to auctions, use the private money for short sales, use it for foreclosures, even use it to wholesale, right? Use the cash financing and private money to do these four, right? And of course, as my sister mentioned, there's estate sales, but I already explained that in another video, and you can check that out if you want. It's been real. It's been way longer than 90 because this isn't a reel of 90. This is a 7 ways to buy property, pros and cons. And these were all on the buyer side. So what I want you to do is keep checking back because I'm going to do the same thing but on the seller side. Because if you're selling your short sale, what are pros and cons to that? If your house is going into foreclosure, are there any pros to that? What about letting someone wholesale your house? So check back for the next video where we cover these same 7 topics but from the perspective of the seller side.